Hello Tech Babes, my name is Alexis Wogan. I'm a product manager. I've been working in product for about 10 years, leading software and development teams, and I am here to talk to you about product management. In this video, we're going to talk about what product management really is, and by the end of the video, you should have a better understanding of the product management role and hopefully be excited about becoming a product manager. I'm going to start at the beginning, but I've got tips and tricks for my junior and senior PMs too. If you work in tech, say in an adjacent role like design or data science, engineering, marketing, customer service, stick around. Learning more about product management will help you be more successful in your current role. Before we get started, let's talk about why I partnered with Unblock. Ultimately, I decided to work with Unblock because I want to build a community of people that help each other by sharing knowledge and figuring out how to advance. Working in tech is hard, and having a network makes everything go so much more smoothly. We've all worked on projects and have lessons that we can share with each other. We have had experiences with our managers that we can share with each other. I wanted to create a space where we can have that kind of conversation, not only about the fundamentals and hard skills that are involved with the job, but also the soft skills. And at Unblock, we're going to touch on it all. So like and subscribe, because I'm going to tell you everything that I know about how to survive sustainably in this very difficult industry we call tech. I've been at it for 10 years and I've got some things to share. What is product management? First, you need to know that we keep asking ourselves that question, because what product management is keeps evolving and changing as we figure out how to actually build and deliver good products. If you were to look at what Marty Kagan says, and you should read everything that this person has ever written, they will not steer you wrong. Marty Kagan defines product management as like a series of activities that help us discover products that are valuable, usable, and feasible. And if you work in tech, the product manager sits at a place to be able to do that that is uniquely positioned. We sit at the center of design, engineering, and business. Cue the Venn diagram. The Venn diagram that we should all wear as t-shirts, because this is the thing that really does represent our whole blend of things that we think about and people we work with as we go and do our jobs. It's very important that a product manager is experienced in at least one of these areas, but is passionate about all three and able to work with practitioners in all areas. So if product management changes everywhere you go, what do you need to know? Let's focus on the core tenets that make up product management. First, you need to know that product managers are not people managers. We're no one's boss. And that's a good thing. We are supposed to create consensus across our team, a bunch of stakeholders, and in doing that, we need to have a place where everyone is comfortable with expressing their thoughts and opinions and actually being able to disagree with what you're proposing. And then we have to resolve that disagreement. And think about maybe how often it is that you disagree with your boss. It's not really easy to have those kinds of conversations with somebody who's directly in charge of your career. So you remove that dynamic. Product managers are not people managers, and now we're actually able to focus on what we really do, and that's enable our teams. That's what we do. We are supposed to do everything that our functional team members are not doing. That's why it changes so much at different orgs. We got to run around and fill in the gaps. So you've got your engineering people focus on solving hard technical problems. You've got your designers focusing on designing solutions for these problems. But it is the product manager that runs around, talks to the stakeholders, circulates all of the information across the team, talks to users, looks at metrics, and helps calibrate across those stakeholders what the most important thing is for the team to be working on at any given moment. And that's the next thing a product manager is supposed to do. And that is serve the right next thing. And that's a complicated job, and it requires a product manager to do a lot of different things. But ultimately, that prioritization is something that you own, just like the success of the product is ultimately something that a product manager owns. So, in summary, a product manager is many things. We're a communications hub. We're a prioritizer. We're a researcher. We are a presenter, and we are responsible for the success of the product. It is such a hot seat. And I really understand why it's not the right place for every kind of person to sit on a team. You really need to be good at context switching. You need to be good at, having a lot of meetings. And you also need to be comfortable with the fact that if you're doing a really good job, you're nearly invisible because the spotlight should be on your team and the outcomes that they're creating. It's a very important job. It's really exciting and fun to do. But what is a product? It seems almost silly to just ask that question. Like, of course we know what a product is. It's a computer. It's a piece of software. Yes, all those things are true. And a product manager is the person who's responsible for designing, building, and delivering said product, the computer or maybe Microsoft Office. But what's interesting about product management in software development and technology is that rarely is one product manager actually responsible for the entire product experience. Maybe at a startup, you could get away with one person overseeing all of that. But the more sophisticated an org gets, the more successful a product is, the more important it is to look at that entire product experience and divide it up into pieces so that individual product managers and teams, functional teams, can focus on improving parts of the product, expanding, adding new features. You want to be able to organize everybody in a way that you can really strategically action your teams to improve certain parts of the product and meet certain business and customer objectives. So let's talk about a practical example. Let's think about a product like Audible. As consumers, we know Audible as an application that we install on our phones or tablets. It's on Alexa, it's in our cars, it's on our TV. It's an app that allows us to search, purchase, download, and consume audiobooks. That's fairly straightforward. How many people could it possibly take to create that product? It might surprise you that there's more than 20 product managers that are working on that product. It's pretty important because even though you've got a somewhat simple set of jobs that a customer wants to do, find, download, consume an audiobook, all the surface area, the different devices that are supported, and the complexity of integrating in as an Amazon product creates actually an incredibly complex situation to manage. Audible does something that companies like Tinder and Hinge also do. This is a model that some companies adhere to when they put their product management company or organizations together. They have like a growth org, then they have a core experience org or like a vertical, and then they have a platform team. And each of these verticals has collections of product managers, business, finance, designers, engineers. They're all staffed. And they're staffed in accordance with the company's objectives. So if you're trying to grow, your growth team might be bigger. If you're trying to enable your core experience team to do something specific, you might boost up your platform team and your core experience team, right? Like there are these levers that the organization gets to pull based on what they're trying to do. And as a product manager, when you work within these specific verticals, you're managing a rolling roadmap that is kind of speaking to and revisiting what it is that your team's trying to achieve at any given moment, whether you're trying to drive a specific objective like get more users or improve some sort of engagement metric, right? Every team, every product manager and their functional team is actioned to do something very specific. That's not the only way to do it. Companies like Facebook have multiple PMs that work on a specific feature like newsfeed. It's so critical to the product experience that you have multiple product managers making sure that it's right. So each company gets to pick the right way to organize their teams. And what's important to know as a product manager is really where you should try and aim to land. You want to figure out what kind of product manager you are so that you can help navigate all of the available opportunities and help create the most success, both with your team and then also, of course, within a company, which in the long run is about people, right? Impacting, creating positive incomes for actual users. So let's focus on that in the next video. I'm going to break down the types of product managers and we're going to put on the sorting app. We're going to figure out which kind of product manager are you. So like and subscribe. That video is coming next.